was the New England Sanitarium for the mentally insane.
Oh, yo, there's writing. It says Satan. It says Satan to God on that back wall. It says Satan is God.
Are you getting that, Jason? Let me see what you're seeing.
Hello, my name is Will.
I'm Tristan.
And I'm Dante.
And welcome to our paranormal investigation of the old abandoned Stoneham State Hospital. Welcome to the Ghoul Boys YouTube channel. We are paranormal investigators from the greater Boston area.
And that means we like to scope out famously haunted locations and abandoned buildings around us to see if anything is still happening.
And today we're checking out the old abandoned State Hospital of Stoneham, Massachusetts.
This has actually been on our checklist for haunted places for years, and it's right in our hometown, which is even better because, we live here, so it works.
Yeah. Also, we didn't even plan on going out that evening to go on a hunt, but when we found out that it was being torn down when we drove by, we had to go out there. Also, I would like to apologize for the inconsistency in the camera and audio work because we weren't planning on going out. We weren't very well prepared. We're going to have lav mics on our bodies and not record off our iPhone audio and not use Tristan's.
My finger won't be in front of the camera this time.
That also will not be happening.
It probably will, though.
Maybe.
But you're also will.
We'll work on it.
Okay. So, enjoy our investigation of the hospital building and subsequent church and morgue, and we will catch you on the other side.
So here we are, as we start our investigation, looking around the perimeter for the best opportunity to get ourselves the closest look we can legally. Since the area is under pretty heavy surveillance and disarray from the impending demolition, we are unfortunately not able to gain access to the inside. But we were able to get very close to the hospital's main building and all the subsequent entrances and adjacent chapel and morgue still on property. But most shocking of all was the surprise horrific history of this once simple hospital that we had yet to find out.
Okay, so we just found out that the...
Oh, wait, I'm hella zoomed in.
We just... Shit. Brother, one job.
Technical difficulties. Alright, we're good.
Okay, so we just found out some shocking news. This hospital wasn't built in the 80s like I thought. It was built in the 1890s. And it was the New England Sanitarium for the mentally insane. And then Seventh-day Adventist Church, which is that church right there, was built. Yep.
And what date was that for the church?
99, the church was built.
So that's 10 years apart, right?
No, 1899 versus 1999, so 100 years apart.
Oh, my fault.
So 100 years apart, the hospital was founded. It was originally founded in Lancaster and then moved here. And then the church was built in the 90s. The morgue looked fairly new, so I assume they had a morgue in the basement here. If we can get in, maybe we can find it. Probably not. Hopefully. Let's work our way around to the front door.
Now as we work our way to the front of the complex, we have just found out a lot about this building we had thought just to be a simple state hospital. But in fact, it turns out that this building has a long line of pain, suffering, and death since in 1899 it opened its doors to the world as the New England Sanitarium. Although the hospital, chapel, and morgue are, this building complex isn't completely abandoned, as there is still the newest wing still open and practicing, as well as some condos built just off the property.
So this is the building that is still being currently used.
Yeah, there's a dentist's office, a therapy office, and a few others over here. I think there's an orthopedic as well. But mainly in this building over here. This building was the new addition to the hospital. It was the newest addition, and that was the newest addition after that, but it's a separate building.
Now we make our way across the complex over to the morgue, our suspected hotspot for tonight's events.
Alright, we are approaching the... Oh, I'm pretty sure this is the morgue.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's the morgue.
The potential entryway right here for us.
Zach Bagans would say. It could be a potential doorway to hell.
We did not expect the building to still be under such surveillance since it is currently being demolished. But we got as close as we could legally and got some close looks into the windows, but our camera then started malfunctioning. And as we were fixing the issue, we heard what sounded like a giant clash come from inside of the morgue. When this clash occurred, we decided to start running our live audio recordings.
Okay, recording audio. Starting right now. We just missed a loud bang, dude. Like a crash or something over by the morgue, bro. That was crazy.
Could this crash or bang that we heard be a spirit trying to communicate that it is trapped in its final moments? As we come closer to the fence, we get some better looks into the morgue itself. It has been shut down for decades, but is there still some life in there? Unfortunately, the morgue was the building we couldn't get close to much at all. The fence was up pretty far, but as you will see coming up in our clips from the hospital, and especially from the church, they were very intriguing.
That's definitely an entrance right there, Will.
Yeah.
The fuck was that?
Did you hear that creaking?
Yeah.
I think it was one of the trees. Man, we're filming. Alright.
Cold night, boys.
Coming up to the old, I think this is the
Ghosts,
entrance.
they love the cold. Maybe this will help with the activity.
Entrance of the hospital.
There's a light on up there, dude.
I see that.
There's one light, dude. Where? Wait.
There's a car alarm going off.
Yeah, shut up. There's a car alarm going off. It's a hunting.
Also, it's a good shot.
This part of the hospital would receive the most amount of panic, I guess you could say. Because these doors, as soon as you walked in, your life changed forever.
As we make our way over to the old main entrance on the east side of the former hospital and sanitarium, we start to get an eerie feeling. This is where the ambulances would drop off the wounded and ill, and where the unlucky some would have their final moments.
Yo. This was just at 2 full bars, and now it's about to die.
And just as we get that sinking feeling, our camera battery dies.
Are there any spirits nearby from this hospital?
Keep going.
Are there any spirits left over in this hospital? Are you still trapped here? Are you angry about the building being torn down?
What was that? Keep going for 5. Keep asking.
Is someone there?
Ask a different question.
Well, sometimes you need to repeat yourself. How old were you when you died here? Did you have anyone with you when you died?
I thought I heard a yeah.
How did you die here? Were you sick? Injury? Was it medicine?
What was it that harmed you?
Did you die peacefully? Or did you die in pain?
I heard Eve.
Yo.
I also heard something with an E.
Is that you trying to speak to us?
Did you hear that?
I did. Yeah.
Sounded like he was in that big opening. Yeah, let me turn this off for a second.
FM mode.
I know, it said evil and then we heard a bang.
No, not even that, dude. We walked over, like, we were walking over here. Battery was fine the entire time.
And then it got, once we started the spirit box.
The second we walked over here, I had no fucking battery.
Was this spirit that said evil the same spirit that drained our camera battery?
We get up.
I'm gonna count all of this.
Alright, so over there was we walked up to the building, and as soon as we turned our spirit box on, we started asking questions. The
camera battery is about to die now.
Fully charged.
It was literally fully charged. Yeah, we had to turn it off while we walked like probably a quarter mile back to the car, and then like an eighth of a mile back here.
So, safe to say these ghosts are making us work for it.
Yeah, the spirit box wasn't too clear. I heard like
We heard a little bit of chirps in between.
a little bit of chatter. There's definitely some music in there, but
Come here, Eric.
this is Dante.
Nick.
Oh yeah, Jay.
I'm Jay. Jay was.
Now we make our way over to the abandoned chapel.
So here's the chapel. Obviously, we went around from the other side over there. As you can see down below the basement, I'm sure they had some classes.
Are those books in that room?
Spirit. Up top, you know, this church has seen. There are books.
Yeah, there's books right there.
Everything from joy to pain to lifelong trauma. It's crazy how things could be in that church. And same with the hospital.
What kind of spirits lie wake at the old abandoned chapel of the New England Sanitarium? What lost souls are still trapped here begging to be let free? Or is there something more sinister at play here? Only time will tell.
Oh look, that's where they would roll the bodies out to the hearse most likely.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's writing. It says Satan? It says Satan to God on that back wall?
Saint, maybe?
No, it says S-A-T-A-N.
Oh, I can't see that far.
That's concerning. That's like 50 yards. Satan is God. It says Satan is God.
Are you getting that? Let me see what you're seeing.
Sometimes this is as far as you can go. It says it right there. Satan is God. Satan is God.
That's some compelling evidence right there.
We're not really getting much here, boys.
Just as we thought the night was going terrible evidence-wise, we decided to start up a spirit box session out front of the church. A spirit box is an FM radio with an outwards-facing speaker using the white noise static on the channels to communicate with spirits that are manipulating the electromagnetic frequencies around us.
Alright boys, I'm gonna get the EVP starting on my phone. I'm gonna get the radio on. I'm gonna switch it to FM
mode.
And we're gonna get going. You got some questions?
Yes. What kind of questions do you ask at a church without provoking anything bad?
I think you want to promote something.
Not in front of the church.
Are there any spirits here with us?
We can't like really yell, we're right. There's something right there.
Sounded like the same breathing over like 8 different channels. It's gone now.
We gotta lock in, Tim.
Are there any spirits here with us that would like to communicate?
How old are you?
Do you know if you're dead?
There's something there.
Sound like the name?
Do you know what town we are currently in?
What year is it?
Whoa,
I
Dude.
didn't hear.
What town are we currently in?
Go back to that. Go back to that.
Were you harmed in any way here?
What year did you die?
How old were you when you passed away?
Oh. Just cut a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you have family that visited you before you died?
Give it like 10 seconds.
Sound like screaming.
Were you a faithful, God-fearing person? What is the afterlife like?
Did you make it to heaven?
Or are you trapped? Give me a second. I'm gonna put up the antenna.
How old were you when you died? Ask you the same now that we've got it right.
That sounded like a scream.
How long have you been trapped here?
Jesus, dude. Holy shit. Dude! It just said really.
You believe in Jesus? That was the same voice,
like 4
bro.
times.
How old are you? How long have you been trapped here?
Sound like all?
What is your name?
Harem?
Harold, maybe? I didn't really hear that too clearly. Is your name Harold?
Harry? He said no.
What brought you to the hospital that made you get sick and die?
I did.
What the fuck was that?
It sounded like mumbled talking.
Let me back up.
What caused you to pass away?
Were you
Karma?
sick? Was it an injury?
Was it work related?
Was it malpractice?
I just got the same voice like 3 times over like 5 different channels. Whoa.
Dude. Come closer so you can speak to us
We are
through
near
this.
the front door. Remember the entrance where your family entered for your funeral? You remember your funeral? Dude, we're getting some crazy shit over here.
Dude, when it said Jesus, I don't even know what it said after that. But dude,
It
that
also
was
said
really...
really after that. We said oh shit. I said oh shit and it said really.
And that was the same voice 3 times.
Okay, I think we should honestly move to a different spot. Or do you guys want to stay here for a little bit? Because we're getting some good shit. Maybe move to a different part. Can we get closer at any other part, or is this the closest we can get?
To the church, this would be the closest. We could go back to the front.
Hell yeah. We're coming up right over to the old, I think this is the east, so this would be south entrance. This is the old south entrance.
As we make our way back to the hospital for another spirit box session, I bet you're wondering why we moved on from the church so quickly. It's because we had a few moments of no communication, and also some of the audio evidence doesn't show up well in person when it's windy and we are hearing in real time, especially when we are looking for specific answers. So in post, I will boost the audio and loop it.
You guys ready?
Alright. We're gonna have to roll out some more of the same questions again. Yep. But once again, we are in a different area, so there could be other people wanting to talk. If there's any spirits nearby, come to the sound of my voice, and you can speak to us with this.
With this machine right here. I heard
Did it
something
just
when I was
yell?
talking. Yeah.
Literally,
Are you trying to talk to us? That was creepy.
yeah, it was.
Fucking John Carpenter film?
What brought you here? Was it sickness? Or was it an injury? Do you know that you're dead?
I just heard a no. Are you aware that the building is being torn down? Yo! That was a yes. Oh,
Bro.
my.
Dude, that was clear as day.
Did you not hear the second one?
Holy cow.
Oh my god.
Dude. Okay.
I
think so. Shout out Supernatural.
Does it anger you that the building's being torn down? That sounded similar. I don't know what it said, but that sounded...
Does your family know you're still here? That was the same voice.
That was the same voice. Was your family there when you died in your bed? Did you have any family? What is your name?
How old are you?
What is your name, sir? Did it say Harold?
I thought I heard
Dude,
it was Harold! Bro! Whoa. Did you hear that in there?
Dude! He said fucking Harold again!
Did you hear that the same as us? Harold Dean. That's now multiple times in multiple spots across the hospital main building and the church. Who is this spirit trying so hard to communicate with us?
Bro, I can't. It literally said Harold again. Was that not what we thought it was over there?
I thought it might have said Sarah, but when you said Harold, I was like, okay, I'm going to have to listen back. It might have been Sarah, it might have been Harold. I don't know, but we definitely heard a name. And it was the same voice that we've been talking to. I just heard creaking from the second floor.
Right as we are talking about that, I hear what sounds like creaking from inside the hospital, but we realize quickly we need to communicate with Harold once again.
Does our back up a little bit?
FM mode.
Harold or Sarah, are you trying to communicate with us?
Harold, how did you die? Were you sick?
I heard like a yup.
I thought I heard a train.
A lot of
Did you die of natural causes?
Harold, we're trying to communicate. Please try a little bit harder.
How long ago did you die? Did you die when the hospital was first open in its early years?
Do you know that this is Stoneham? Or did you die before this was Stoneham? Was this still Charlestown?
Did you die on the way here?
I heard please. Do you need help?
Can you make a loud sound from in the hospital? Shut this off.
If there's any spirits present with us, could you make a noise? Did you not hear that?
I think that's water dripping though.
If there's any spirits here with us, could you finish the pattern for me?
Yo, did you just hear that? No. I just heard something. No, not like that.
I fixed the one thing on the floor.
It was like a... Like something was being dragged on the...
Like a scuff.
I think we got some pretty good stuff.
Dude, I want to figure out that Harold thing.
Yeah, I want to figure out the Harold thing.
Jesus, dude.
Oh my god. And the growls. Dude, that was crazy. I really hope this picked it up well.
Were the spirits we communicated with from the old New England Sanitarium for the mentally insane? Or just simple patients of the Stoneham State Hospital? Or was it something even darker and more sinister than that? From full names, quick responses on the spirit box, to noises on command, is it safe to say that the old abandoned Stoneham State Hospital, formerly named the New England Sanitarium for the Mentally Insane, is haunted? I'd say so. What say you? Let's hear it in the comments.
Thank you for watching.
We hope that you enjoyed the paranormal investigation into the old Stoneham State Hospital, which actually turned out to be a former state mental institution that opened up in 1899.
Crazy the other stuff that we got too on set, let alone in post-production.
Yeah, for real. We heard so much. Hopefully we get the debrief to you guys soon, where we can go deeper and go into replays of the audio and sit down and go through it with you guys in real time, maybe answer a few of your comments, and maybe try to figure out who this Harold was. Maybe we can get in contact with a local historian. That would be pretty cool.
That would actually be pretty cool. But on that note, we will catch you in the next video.
On the next hunt.
Oh, well.
You can leave now.